Breonna Taylor, the verdict. I mean, I don't think anybody is surprised that she really didn't get justice.
Mm-hmm.
There was only one officer who was going to be indicted for the wanton endangerment.
Right.
Because he shot into a neighboring apartment.
Okay, yeah.
And he put other lives at risk.
Yeah.
So I guess the common misconception, at least even from what I was reading in fake news about it, was that the police entered the wrong apartment. And they really didn't. So they did have a search warrant for Breonna's apartment with her address, a picture of her door, her name, her social security number. And all that was because of her ex-boyfriend and his affiliate who were dealing drugs. They received a package at her house once. And because they got a package there once, they assumed that there was an affiliation and drugs could potentially be at that house.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't think that if you get a package...
They busted in there like it was like she was kingpin. Like, matter of fact, they busted in there like Power. The new episode of Power. Like,
they had a no-knock warrant, which I'm not sure if that means they don't have to announce themselves, but they did pound on the door, and her boyfriend her boyfriend then, and now, unfortunately, because she passed away, I guess he's a widow, sort of, if they were living together. I don't know how that would be, but he heard the pounding, assumed that it was intruders trying to break in. So he shot one time, injuring an officer in his leg. And then neighbors even said they never heard them announce that it was the police.
Right.
He didn't know it was the police. So then they continued and they shot 20 rounds into the apartment, and 6 of them struck Breonna as she was asleep in her bed.
Dang.
So
I didn't know she was in the bed.
She was in the bed, and then she made it into the hallway and she died. They shot the fires at 12:43, I think it said, in the morning, and she died at 12:48. So
see, man, I'm gonna say this real quick. I could understand like the part about him shooting because he thought it was intruders coming in.
Right.
Okay. Like, so say nobody didn't announce themselves like that, right?
If that's what the no-knock warrant means.
Yeah, they didn't announce themselves. Okay. I'm going to tell you my mentality about it. And just a quick story and wrap it up. All right? I ain't going to go long, I promise. My mom, when I was a little kid, I was probably about 8 years old. I was staying the night at my friend's house next door. Now, my mom's car is parked right on the side of the street, so I should easily know that she's home. I could see it. But at this time, it was nighttime. I was having fun, yo. Wasn't paying attention. I just wanted to come home to get some clothes. I needed some extra clothes. I was having such a ball, didn't even notice her car wasn't outside. I walk up in the house, and survival instinct kicks in because I'm like, my mom, I know she's home. It's like 9 o'clock at night. I'm knocking on the front door. Right. And it's quiet as a mouse in there. I'm like, oh, what's going on? And it's just like, yo, I start panicking. I'm like, yo, she all right? What's going on? Instincts just kicked in. I bust the door down at 8 years old. Knocked the hole off the hinges, everything. With a shoulder.
Baby
one shoulder bump. Boom. Whole door came down. And then I was like, as soon as the door came down, I realized, like, she ain't home. I was like, it's quiet in here. I'm looking around like, Mom. I'm like, I look over, I turn around, no car outside. I said, oh, she's not home. How did I do this? So I had to call her. I called her. She was at my grandpa's house because the alarm went off at the house. And I called. I said, Mom, I knocked the door down. She's like, you did what? I said, the door. I knocked it down. She said, and first day she said, how we gonna sleep, Mike? She asked me if I was all right or nothing. How we gonna sleep? I ain't got no door. I'm like, yo, man, go ahead, man. Anyway, that's just a quick story, y'all. Yeah, but that I can
about you breaking the door down.
I can understand how he just started dumping and shooting first. Like he didn't know when something like that is going on. You might not be rationally thinking, and he might have just been like, "Yo, somebody trying to break in here."
Well, look at the time of night that it is.
Whether if the guy he was into stuff or not, that doesn't mean.
He wasn't for the record.
I'm just saying, but the media can spin it like, right. Why were you have to shoot? And if you thought someone did you think people were trying to break into your house? Like for some people, life isn't like where you can leave the doors unlocked all night and all hours of the night and not worry about somebody breaking into your crap. Yeah. So, yeah, he was ready. He was for that action, and then that's what happened, unfortunately. That's what I was
going to say. Yeah. If he was raised in an environment where people do break in, or he's heard of it before, even seeing stuff like that on the movies can make you paranoid about it. Like, this stuff really happens. Yeah, you're reading the newspapers.
He was ready. Cops didn't even get in the house. So
he was well within his rights.
He was ready, man.
Absolutely well within his rights. If something like that would have happened in a stand your ground state, you could definitely have done that. So, I mean, you feel like your life is in danger. It's this time of hour. You're knocking super aggressively like that. Absolutely. You can totally do that. Especially if they're trying to break your door down. Right. And that's the difference is they use a battering ram to break her door down. So you literally have somebody breaking into your apartment.
And if you don't hit it right the first time.
And they're not announcing who they are. You would think that if, they rammed it, the door didn't break open the first time, you should absolutely say this is the police.
Yeah,
because I'm sure it's not like he was walking around the apartment with a gun in his hand.
Yeah, I've seen.
I'm sure it wasn't like that.
I've seen some guys that just are trash with the battery ram.
Like, these guys apparently were. Boof. Yeah,
boof. Be like, hey, step back.
They probably hit it at the wrong spot, and it didn't pop open. Yeah, but let me find my spot for this because it was one of those things where the verdict went down, and the communities are devastated, but not so devastated because it's almost, there was an expectation for it to go this way. Nobody was really surprised. Right. But I think it's the fact that the Black community holds so much faith and hope. Yeah. It actually works against sometimes.
You want it to be acknowledged, and you just want to see it with proper justice happen, man. And it's like, this woman didn't deserve to get killed.
She's a paramedic. She's out there saving people's lives.
Right. She didn't deserve to get shot. And all the other stuff on top of it, like, just to think, like, come on, man. If you're going to go in there and a person is shooting, you really don't know who else is in the house. So you just dumping off in that. Like, just think about that. Like, all right, my life is in danger, obviously. Someone's shooting at me. What do you do in that case? You're a police officer, right? Now I know it's certain rules. And that's why I ain't a police officer. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I would have did. You start shooting at me, I'm retreat, and I'm gonna think, hey, we need to rethink about this move because they in there shooting.
We need SWAT.
They in there shooting, and I didn't think they was gonna be causing us no problem. So, yeah. I need backup. That's what I would have did. But they was just like, nah, you shooting at us, then we just gonna all shoot
one shot fired.
I'm gonna shoot 20 shots at you, dump all up in this spot. Don't know if it's children, anybody else in here. I'm gonna just dump in here, and then whoever dies.
I think they knew that there were no children in the house because they had her information. I don't think they expected him to be in there, and I don't think they knew as deep that she was no longer dating the guy. You would think
that's an investigation. You do an investigation thoroughly. Point. Your investigation stopped once you saw that. Once they saw that package being delivered there, they stopped all further investigation, and they made their mind up that this is what I needed to go ahead and get her.
How long has it been since this guy has visited this apartment? Because if that's his girlfriend and he hasn't been there for 3 to 6 months, they probably aren't affiliated anymore
at all.
So there should be no reason for us to have to go there. One package, he gets something from Amazon shipped there, and that's it.
Right.
That's it.
As I'm saying, man.
One package. But so there was something that came out, I told you earlier, about one of the grand jurors.
Trying to spill the beans now. Yeah,
he went and got a lawyer, and he requested to have the recordings of the grand jury released. So that
then he wanted to have the gag order removed too, right? That's what I heard, so that he can actually speak on.
Oh, I don't know.
That's what I heard on.
That probably is true though, because they're not supposed to.
Yep.
But so they want that out there, and it was supposed to come out today, but a judge kind of stopped it. Of course, Attorney General and all of this stuff going on. Mm-hmm. But basically, they were saying because the Attorney General almost put it all on the grand jury, and the grand jury had no idea that they could have indicted the other 2 officers.
Right.
They were basically not told that. So with them not knowing that that was an option, they kind of just were told that it's just this one person. This is what you're going to do. This is what you're deciding on. Right. And that's it.
Right.
And then the Attorney General kind of flipped it. So there's a judge also that signed the warrant off for Breonna's apartment to be the knock warrant. Mm. And they're asking questions. And at first she didn't respond, and then she came out, I guess, after the verdict and everything, and she said, well, she asked whatever pertinent questions she needed to in order to sign off on it.
Right.
And it's like, well, what evidence did they have to present to you to show? Because if this this guy got a package in 2017 delivered here, and it's now 2020 or 2019. And how often has he been to that apartment since then? No idea. So in 2 years, I'm not saying that it's been 2 years, but I'm saying like there could have been a significant amount of time between that was not relayed. So I would assume that if you have another man living with you after your ex-boyfriend, it's going to be at least 2 months.
Yeah.
At least, especially if the dude is a drug dealer, whether she knew it or not. I mean, he probably has certain personality traits where you're not going to want to have another guy come in the house so quickly. Yeah. So I don't feel like that process was served her. It doesn't serve the people overall, because this can happen to any of us.
But they made a huge mistake. They fouled up and what you call it, they even dropped the charges on him.
On the ex-boyfriend?
Yeah.
The drug charges?
They dropped them. Huh. They said that potentially they can re-indict him later, but as of now they dropped charges. So they dropped the charges of him shooting the guy because they said that he actually shot the officer.
Oh, that's her boyfriend, not the ex-boyfriend.
Not the ex guy. No, I'm talking about not the ex guy that she was with that no longer with, but I mean, and to that part that you said, I think that's all the way foul.
Yeah,
but they dropped the charges on the boyfriend she was actually with that shot at them
in the house.
They've also come back to say that the ballistics report is not confirmed that his actual bullet from his gun is what actually shot.
No, it's from the other officer. The other officer who shot from outside.
Yes.
And he shot after the other guy shot. So he was just shooting just to get some off. I got to feel like I was involved. Bang, bang.
Yeah. And it hit the other dude. So
yep,
then
hit one of his other officers.
That's why they had to drop that charge in regards to him.
Well,
being shot.
And then there's other witnesses, the neighbors that confirmed his story that they didn't announce themselves.
Yeah. So with that being the case, who is going to be responsible for this girl's death?
Nobody.
You get what I'm saying? That's the issue. And then they're saying the Attorney General was trying to come out saying that the reason they went for the wanton endangerment is because they needed to find something that they knew could stick. And that's the only thing that they knew for sure they can make stick, instead of even trying to go to even go to, and I'm sure the wanton
to
endangerment.
show
I'm gonna
that
show
maybe
you.
they were negligent,
I'm gonna be straight up
even
with
in
you.
just
I won't even be
investigating
surprised.
it.
I won't be surprised if this dude get off some kind of crazy way with the wanton endangerment. Also.
I'm sure it's probably going to be a super lesser charge.
Yeah, they said up to 5 years each charge. He ain't getting no 5 years. Man.
He's going to get probation.
He's gonna get
5
something
years.
retarded low, and it's gonna be another slap in the face and more rioting. Unfortunately, because this is the whole reason behind it. For the people that don't realize, the rioting is happening in a lot of ways because and the peaceful protest is the peaceful protest. Don't mix the peaceful protesting with the rioting because there's two different things. The peaceful protests will happen during the day, and the rioters will show up at night getting busy. All the rioters have their own ulterior motives when it comes to what they're going out there and doing. Some of them are doing it in the name of Black Lives Matter. Some of them doing it for the Antifa movement or whatever else.
Oh, some of them are doing it for self.
And some of them just out there just to be reckless. Like they're like, yo, I want to be
free
outside.
Stuff or just to wreck shop.
Yeah. Everybody isn't out there.
Just to loot, to do what they want. They're self-serving.
Exactly. So, but the reason why there is so much protest, I would say, not the rioting part, the protesting part of it, is because of stuff like this. This has happened it's happening like almost every time. So at what point do you say the system is foul? You can't have this happen over and over and over, and you can't say the system isn't.
I think everybody knows. Even people who work the system know the system is flawed and it's imperfect.
It's all the way.
But I think the point that I made to you was in terms of if you look at it as a business, right?
Yeah.
And if you have a problem with, say, management, and you go to HR because somebody in management is acting foul. They've made moves on you, but nobody else seen it. You didn't document it. Right. And so you go to HR. HR isn't there to help you. HR is there to protect the company, to make sure that the company can't get sued for it.
Right.
So HR is going to make you feel like they're there for you and to help you, but they're actually covering their own butts.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, we had this talk all the time, especially and in my field when it comes to the HVAC stuff, like man, going out and working in the plants and all that stuff.